That was Jess Shankelman. Now on to our weekly discussion. Fujitsu recently collaborated with Telstra to produce a new report called Smarter2030. The report looks at the benefits provided by information and communications technology. It didn't just review the economic benefits, it also sought to outline the social and environmental benefits of ICT as well. Joining me from Fujitsu to discuss the report are Brad Freeman, the Vice President of Business and Application Services, and Lee Stewart, the Head of Sustainability. Gents, thanks for joining us. Lee, if I can start with you, why did Fujitsu and Telstra do this report?
Well, really, John, we actually collaborated on this report. It was really born out of frustration. Frustration of the opportunity that we see that industry is missing by not taking full advantage of smart technology, collaboration and new innovations born about by ICT.
Now, and what were the report's key findings and what are the implications for Australian businesses?
Yeah, so the key findings were really significant. We mapped out across 8 different sectors the opportunity from now until 2030. And in 2030, we looked at the significant savings for the economy is around $33 billion. Now, not just the economics, as you mentioned before, the other social aspects of better connected services for health and education, but also reduced emissions, 180 million tonnes, reduced water, 650 billion litres. So what we've found in this report, the findings are quite significant and there are plenty of opportunities that businesses should be looking into.
Brad, e-health is a growing sector. What are the financial opportunities in that sector? What's happening?
Sure. The economic benefits of e-health are expected to be something of the order of 1.5 billion, or the market is going to be about 1.5 billion by 2030. The economic benefits about 2.1 billion, so it's a big part of the economy. I think when people think of e-health, they think of electronic healthcare records, but what we're talking about is looking after patients using information technology. A couple of good examples. We're doing some work in Canberra Hospital, digitally broadcasting newborn babies back to their families so they can see the babies there. That bonds the family, obviously, but also stops people having to travel all the time, which has an economic benefit and also an environmental benefit. We also do a lot of work with aged care, and the aim is to keep older people in their homes. And our Japanese colleagues are looking at building environments with lots of sensors around the homes, detecting whether the person is walking around okay, fallen over. It enables you to remotely access whether your aged parent, for example, is okay from a long way away.
That's an extremely good idea. Now, I was at the National Farmers Federation convention some weeks ago, and it was interesting how many farmers were talking about smart agriculture. Now, you touched on that in your report.
Yeah.
What did you find?
It's people don't relate information technology to farming, and yet it's becoming something that's going to have a very big economic benefit. We put sensors into the fields. They monitor soil quality, the composition of the soil, water. By doing this, recording and measuring it in real time, we can improve the yield of the crops up to 700 kilograms per hectare and also save water. And for a country like Australia, reliant on agriculture with limited water, those are massive benefits for us.
Lee, one of my favourite case studies in the report is Qantas. Can you give us the numbers on that for the viewers?
Yeah, fantastic, John. The case study really looks at Qantas pilots taking iPads instead of taking around 20 kilograms of flight manuals into the cockpit. So to reduce weight and also reduce paper use, which is around 180,000 pages per year, saves them around $1.5 million in costs.
Now, Brad, for business leaders who want to exploit the benefits of ICT, what should they be looking for?
We did a study recently that something like 48% of Australian businesses are going to be different from what they look like now in as early as 2021. Globally, that's about 52%, so businesses will have to change. Businesses have to decide what they're investing in IT for. Is it to disrupt the market? Is it to respond to that disruption? Is it to save costs, to free up investment dollars, to be able to exploit other opportunities? It's getting that focus that's really important. You can spend a lot of money on IT without the return. You can spend a limited amount and get massive returns using digital technologies properly.
Now, Lee, we did a story on Mirvac recently with their new headquarters in 200 George Street. They've got a smarter building. There's a lot of talk about smart buildings. What advice did you find that's applicable in your report?
Yeah, interesting. There's numerous opportunities that we have with smart building, but you don't know what you don't know. So what's exciting about case studies of Mirvac and other forward-thinking companies is putting more sensor technology, understanding how your building operates, how you can fine-tune the energy consumption and water use, and that can bring about significant benefits of around about $5.4 billion we see by 2030.
Now, if we look at the final question, if you had to sum up both of you, the bottom line benefits of ICT, what would it be? Start with you, Lee.
Look, the bottom line benefits of ICT are really untapped. It's significant in financial, social and economic benefits. But what we really need to look at is you need to look at a lens and be forward-thinking and embrace technology. Don't be scared of it. Start small with small pilots, but then look to expand quickly and share in those results.
And Brad, what's your advice?
I think the thing is that it's almost a survival issue. Digital will disrupt everything. You've got to be able to be operating in the market in a way that's digitally relevant, otherwise you'll be probably disrupted out of the marketplace.
Well, Lee, Brad, really appreciate you joining us, and it's
Thanks,
definitely worth getting that report. Extremely good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.